Interprovincial movement. That's right, moving from province to province. It's something that has been on the rise over the last couple of years. I want to jump into it for a little bit and talk about that. What's going on, guys? Dan from Pekoe Mortgages. Thanks again for joining us today. And today I'm talking about something that's really been hitting the news for a little while, and I've noticed it happening more and more. And that's called interprovincial movement. So it's when you're leaving from one province and moving to another one, and it's become a lot more popular. We're seeing people from the larger metropolitan areas moving out to not only smaller towns and cities within the province, but going to other provinces. We're also seeing a movement out west, so people heading towards the mountains, heading towards the ocean, Vancouver, and some of the smaller cities around Vancouver. So let's talk about this, and what does this mean if you're looking to get a mortgage and you're planning on moving, or if you have an existing mortgage, what does that mean for you if you plan on moving outside of your province? So the first thing I want to talk about is if you have an existing mortgage. It's really important to see if that mortgage is portable, and portability is really important because that means you can take that mortgage and move it to a new property. So if you've got an existing house, you're considering to sell it and then moving to another province, check in your commitment to your mortgage paper document package. See if portability is something that is offered or was offered at the time. If you can't figure it out, just reach out to your broker or banker, and I'm sure they'll be able to figure that out for you. And for those of you that haven't gotten a mortgage yet and you're considering getting a property for the first time, and you're thinking of moving outside the province, I would strongly recommend you get a mortgage that has portability. So portability is important for a few reasons. Number one, if you decide you move out to another province, let's say out to the West Coast, and it's just not for you. Maybe you miss your family, your friends, maybe the job opportunities weren't the same. Well, having portability means that you can take that mortgage, sell that house, and move it to a new house. And you're not going to incur that penalty for breaking the mortgage, so it's really important. The other thing too to consider, the provincially regulated credit unions. So some credit unions work in different provinces, and that's not a problem at all. If you have a mortgage with a credit union that has different locations, often you can move to another province that they operate in. But there are a lot of credit unions that are very local. So if you are a member of a credit union and they only have a few offices or locations, you might be bound to that specific jurisdiction for that credit union. So keep that in mind. That might mean that you're paying a penalty to break the mortgage and go to a new lender. The other thing I want to talk about is your job. So if you have the option to move and your employer is encouraging working from home or working remotely, this is a great option. But if you're considering moving out and looking for a new job or looking for job opportunities outside of your province, you want to keep this in mind, because if you think that you can just simply move, get the mortgage, and before closing, move over to the new province and we're good, that's not necessarily the case, because oftentimes that lender is looking for a letter of employment, pay stub, other confirmation that you are gainfully employed. And if you do start a new job, they're going to want to see that you're not on probation. And often probation is about 3 months, 3 to 6 months, depending on where you are. If you are on probation, it could cause things to be a little bit more difficult. So a couple things to consider. I know it's a really popular thing right now to move, especially during the pandemic. You're not tied down to maybe some of the traditional places that you would consider. But if you are thinking of moving interprovincially, just consider the mortgage options on it. If you're looking for fixed or variable, again, I'm really pushing the variable for a few reasons. Interest rates are low, but also the break penalty is just 3 months interest, so a lot less than a fixed rate mortgage. So you're looking for your ability to pivot and be able to move, because life is quite fluid, and so are variable rate mortgages. I should probably trademark that. Anyway, guys, that's what I got today. Thanks for joining me. Let me know what you think if you're considering a move outside of your province. Where are you going? West, east, north? Anyway, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.